Fearless Martial God. Chapter 4, Wielding a Sword. When Lin Feng finished speaking, the whole field had quietened down. Lin Feng took the initiative to issue a challenge to Lin Yun. Even Lin Hai was stunned and looked at his son in surprise. The elders on top of the platform, who were preparing to leave, sat back down and looked at Lin Feng with great interest. Lin Hao Ran gave a cold smile, yet his heart at this moment was suppressing his anger. He did not expect that the trash would take the initiative to fight his son. Lin Yun, accept the challenge. Lin Hao Ran's gaze held an intense look as his eyes fell upon Lin Yun. Lin Yun looked at Lin Feng and felt insulted. In the family, his talent could only be considered ordinary. It was only in front of Lin Feng could find his pride and raise his head high up. Thus, every time he saw Lin Feng, he was more than happy to taunt him a few times. But right now, it was exactly this trash of the young generation that actually dared to challenge him, causing his face to darken. I will stop if you can receive 3 of my moves, Lin Yun said while walking out. He plans to defeat Lin Feng with the most brutal methods so as to let him understand how much of a trash he is. If you can receive 1 of my punches, it will be considered as my defeat. Lin Feng shook his head and said indifferently. The indifferent tone sounded as if Lin Yun would not be able to receive even 1 of Lin Feng's punches, and this caused his complexion to turn gloomy instantly. The crowd was stunned and could only look at Lin Feng speechlessly. This fellow must have gone mad. To think he would actually say something so boastful. No matter how beautiful the words said by the trash are, he is still a trash. Using the advantage of the words is something only a trash like you would do. Lin Yun sneered. Lin Feng laughed. He is using the advantages of words. He had only said a few words. Receive my punch. Lin Feng is unwilling to waste any more time with idle talk. After his voice faded, he moved his body forward, raised his fist, and immediately brandished it towards Lin Yun. 1 punch. Lin Yun's eyes flashed cruelly, and he did not evade that punch. Instead, he raised his own fist. He wanted to let Lin Feng know the huge disparity between their skill levels. The air started vibrating, and a tyrannical wave appeared on Lin Feng's fist, produced a fluttering sound. However, the crowd could only see heavy waves moving towards Lin Yun before passing through him tyrannically. Technique: 9 heavy waves. Lin Yun's complexion changed suddenly as he felt how strong the force of oppression is. But it was too late to withdraw now. Both fists clashed and Lin Yun felt the aggressive waves travel through his fist and past his body forcefully. Each wave was stronger than the previous one, and it was never ending. Pooh! With a groan, Lin Yun's body flew out. Everyone was dumbfounded. This scene was exactly the same as the fight between Lin Hai and Lin Ba Dao previously. Lin Yun, without the slightest resistance, was sent flying, with only a single punch. Lin Hao Ran stood up and stared dumbly at Lin Yun, who was lying on the ground. How could this be possible? Lin Yun was as shocked as Lin Hao Ran, and was unable to accept the cruel reality. When the crowd heard Lin Yun's words, they remembered what Lin Feng had said previously. You keep blabbering that I am a trash. I would like to ask you, if one day you find out that you're worse than me, how humiliated would you be? The present scene had without doubt proved the proud words said by the youth. This is the trash young master of the Lin family. Looking at Lin Feng, everyone in the audience knew that to be able to send Lin Yun flying with one punch, the punch must have at least 6,000 jin in strength. You keep blabbering that I am a trash. Now that you can't even receive one of my punches, where does that leave you? Lin Feng said ironically, and looked at Lin Yun with a vicious look in his eyes. And you Ray a senior, yet you keep saying the word trash all the time. Now, your son has been defeated by me with just one punch. Ray always saying that I am a piece of trash, now you have to say that your son is a piece of trash as well. Raising his head, Lin Feng looked over to Lin Hao Ran and said, Ray only at the 6th G layer. Does this insignificant strength allow you to be so arrogant? I am not being arrogant here. I am just returning what your son and you have been giving to me. Lin Feng is unwilling to say anything more. He turned to leave and said, if you shame others, other people will also shame you. If you shame others, other people will also shame you. Lin Hai whispered softly, and lights flashed past his smiling eyes. His own son had really changed. To think he is actually able to say such philosophical words. Lin Feng returned to his room in the courtyard and began practicing again. Although he had conquered and passed the 5th G layer, it was not enough for him to stand up tall. Lin Heng, who had beaten him up and threw him out of the sect doors, is naturally more talented as compared to Lin Yun, and he was currently in the 8th G layer. In addition, there are also Lin Ba Dao's children. Their talent can be said to be several times higher as compared to Lin Yun, especially Lin Ba Dao's daughter, Lin Qian. It has been said that she had already reached the 9th G layer. In 3 more months, the annual meeting would be held. At that time, everyone in the Lin family, even those who are training in the sects, would come back. If he does not increase his cultivation rapidly, it would be him that would be shamed the next time. Cultivation is endless. Time passes the fastest when a warrior is practicing. To a warrior who is able to absorb the heaven and earth essences, not eating or drinking for 10 days is not a problem. The world's vitality is no doubt the purest essence. 10 days had passed and Lin Feng finally stepped out of his room. He slowly exhaled a long breath. In this 10 days period, he had reached the boundaries of the 6th G layer and would be able to reach the 7th G layer very soon. Quickening his pace, Lin Feng walked toward his father's, Lin Hai's room. Xiao Feng, isn't it okay to practice at home? Why must you return back to the sect? Lin Hai was worried when he heard Lin Feng said that he wanted to return to the sect. Lin Hai still bears a grudge in regards to the previous incident, and is unable to let it go. Father, some things are inevitable. If I hide at home to practice, Father will always be sheltering me. How would I be able to grow and become a strong martial arts warrior? Lin Feng's eyes showed a strong determination. The sect's strength is much greater compared to the Lin family's. There are strong martial techniques as well as intense competition in the sect. It is only in there would he be able to grow even faster. Seeing the stubbornness in Lin Feng's eyes, Lin Hai sighed in his heart. His son has really grown up. It is true that staying at home to practice and staying under his shelter is a cowardly behavior. It would be impossible to become a strong martial arts warrior that way. However, standing from his point of view, he is unwilling due to his parental love towards Lin Feng. Since you insist on returning back to the sect, as your father, I will not stop you. However, you have to pay attention to your own safety, said Lin Hai as he nodded his head. Do not worry, father. I will practice hard and have them all under my foot. Lin Feng's speech held a strong sense of self-confidence. With his dark spirit, his cultivation speed is many times faster as compared to the average person. His comprehension ability had also become stronger. In addition, with a determined heart, he had reasons to believe that he would not be worse off as compared to those so-called geniuses. Lin Feng did not bring anything much, only a horse, a bag of dry food as well as some silver. Father, I am off. Outside of Yangzhou City, Lin Feng looked at his father as he said his farewells. Ah, be careful. Lin Hai nodded. Riding the horse, Thousand Snows, they disappeared from Yangzhou City. In the endless vast land, Lin Feng was riding on horseback. Galloping between heaven and earth, a surge of pride and ambitions bloomed in his heart. In his previous life, Lin Feng had loved martial warriors shows. A lone knight riding a horse while singing, and traveling around the world with a sword. He did not expect that in this life, he would have the chance to ride on a horse, and travel through the world freely. A pot of liquor, a song of broken love, and a wild life. One hero wielding a sword and travel the world. For pride, the world will bleed and die the green sky. In this life, he was fated to be extraordinary. In this life, he was destined to live imposingly.